So, a creepypasta is defined by dictionary.com as a genre of user-generated paranormal and scary stories, distributed largely via internet forums. But you probably already know that. As many of you know, most creepypastas usually talk about lost media. You know, these stories about someone finding some cursed lost tape that should have never been found and seen by anybody, and yeah, all that good stuff. However, what if I told you there's a creepypasta which is the lost media itself? This is nothing new, of course. Gurgles and Bugman, Mario, Crybaby Lane, Jeff the Killer's original picture. These are all creepypastas which were once classified as lost media, or still are. However, none are as obscure as Cameraheads. So, what are cameraheads? Cameraheads are said to be human or human-like entities that have had a camera implanted into the inner nerves of their eyes. Although some people think they straight up have cameras for heads. As such, they are walking surveillance systems, although to what end is unknown. What's even more interesting about these creatures is, as you can guess, their origin. They are best known as the antagonists of an early creepypasta, which just recently was considered lost media. This creepypasta, which even preceded Smile Dog and Jeff the Killer, was circulated on the wiki for 4chan's X Paranormal board. That it existed at the time is proven due to the Wayback Machine saving a screenshot of the X wiki, which for some reason was renamed Sanctuary Pre-Lucid sometime in 2010 and is no longer accessible. The screenshot included an active link to a page named Cameraheads under its creepypasta index. Hilariously, the entry was in the wiki's bullshit section alongside Slenderman, Nibiru, Smile Dog, and the Grifter, stories which had by then been posted to the point of oversaturation. This BS section pretty much just featured corny creepypastas that were overposted back then. Unfortunately, as I said, the Wayback Machine did not save the contents of the page itself. Over the years, users on 4chan and Reddit threads have since tried to recover the relatively obscure pasta, so far to no avail. Well, until 2020 came around. We'll get to that later. This is the story of how Cameraheads, one of the earliest creepypastas, was actually found. The search for this creepypasta started in 2014, where the aforementioned Anon asked about the story on 4chan. In 2018, yes, 4 years later, a thread was opened to discuss entries on a conspiracy theory iceberg. And yes, icebergs existed before 2020. In the 6th tier of this said iceberg, there was an entry reading Cameraheads, and someone, presumably the OP, gave a response to a user inquiring about the entry. According to this user, Camerahead was a very old creepypasta that centered around a guy who discovered a backpack that held several documents, books, and photographs. There was also a note that read, "I killed a camerahead." Nearby, there were signs of a struggle and a camera that had been destroyed. From here, the story tells of a man who descends into insanity thanks to these cameraheads that begin to seep into his life and stalk him. Later in 2019, Cameraheads would make another appearance on a 4chan thread. One anon in the thread provides a pretty lengthy description of the Cameraheads themselves, describing them as being of human creation and biomechanical in appearance. The user also described them as having a camera for a head and being abnormally tall. Sorta reminds me of something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, okay. A year later, in August of 2020, a 4chan user discovered what appears to be one of the videos from the original story/ARG. The post read, "So guys, I have a question for you all to confirm. Were videos indeed used in the creepypasta Cameraheads? We have statements that it had images and documents, since it had elements of an ARG. I ask because I may have found something of extreme interest. Also, pic related is a possible image from Cameraheads, but my inquiry is not about that. Very well. The video is simply titled Camerahead and was posted on August 8, 2009. It has the following description, as it is written: "Weird video I found from a mini DV I found in a gully near my house. The contents of the video is very ARG-like, and it looks like it is part of something larger. Given the date, the description, and the contents, it seems clear that this video is related to the story in some way. The video, titled Camerahead, was uploaded in 2009 by a user named Katya Cub, this being the channel's only upload to date. So I'm gonna play some parts of the video. It's 9 minutes long. I'm gonna speed it up. Here's the video. Nothing out of the ordinary really happens in this video, except this part. Yeah, that face. It's there. At the 8 minutes and 32 second mark, whatever this is appears. Could this be what cameraheads look like? Apart from this, other notable things in the 9-minute video are whatever this is. This swing set. This static TV. This shadowy figure walking towards the camera. This eerie footage of some guys walking in a forest and then presumably running away from whoever's recording. And this creepy white face. The video will be in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. So after doing some research, I was able to find out that the channel and video were pretty unknown until Blame It on Jorge made his Lost Media Creepypasta video, and then it gained some more popularity. The fact that this video is still so obscure makes this creepypasta much more eerie. Alright, but what if the story of Cameraheads isn't actually true? There may be evidence that the story we know as Cameraheads is actually an amalgamation of memories for very similar creatures, including a scrapped enemy in the game Manhunt called Camheads, or a demon literally named Camerahead from Hellraiser 3. Well, this was quickly debunked. In October of 2020, a few months after the discovery of the 2009 video, Lost Media Wiki user Martin005 found an archive on an RSS feed from Cenopedia displaying edits made on April 21st, 2010 to none other than the Cameraheads article. This article actually contained a copy of the original post on X, and the post reads as follows. X. What's a camerahead? I was walking home through a nearby gully and came across a weird stack of rocks and a torn envelope with some writing on it. It appeared to have been written in charcoal or ash. It said, "I killed a camerahead." On the next line, it took Trevor, and the last line, "Get help if I don't come back." And there was a mini DV nearby. This was all that was on it besides static, though I had to watch it a few times before I found this clip. Who took this video? A camerahead sounds really silly if it's a monster with a camera for a head. So yeah, that's the original story. That's the end, it was found. The search for this creepypasta reminds me a lot of the search for SCP-173, which was lost for 11 years until a user on 4chan posted an archive of it in 2018. Two things. First, there was another archived 4chan post that stated the following. By the way, this post was made back in 2012. In urban folklore, a camerahead represents a malevolent creature of human design. Variously Geiger-esque science-esque or biotechnological descriptions accompany some first-hand accounts. The first X thread on the subject that brought the subject to light was a barely coherent story about a boy finding a note saying, "I killed a camerahead." He took this to signify an actual slaying. He was in fact unwillingly making a metatextual reference to himself, as his post killed the camerahead's viability and popularity. A photograph of a camerahead was in subsequent threads, attested to by some. It apparently depicted an organic camera for a head atop an alien-like figure, menacing over the red-lit bed of some cowering elderly couple. So this anon back then was saying that it was an incoherent story, and I guess they were right. They were also saying that the original post killed the camerahead's popularity, which is kind of funny. The photograph mentioned by the anon was not found, at least I don't think so. Like, I couldn't find it myself, so yeah. I wanted to point out that a lot of people think Cameraheads is the first creepypasta, forgetting that Ted the Caver came out back in 2001. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep posting more creepypasta and lost media related content, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want. That's it. See you in the next video.